old photos 10 years ago when things were not quite as seen as what they really are, because things were different, where the community in the Sydney city matrix was not openly exposed and shown to me in all its force and numbers. Now it is, unfortunately. And maybe because I was even just doing these photos might have sparked it off, because before that I didn't venture past a few, past the suburb of Leichhardt, and didn't tend to go anywhere different. But due to circumstances, I went into the next suburb and took some of the bits of water that's around, and I actually found it peaceful. Buzzing sound, but the mobile won't pick it up. That's low-level house sound, but it's louder if you go up the stairs, but also it's in your ears, but it's low level, so it's kind of intrusive, but not like making you crazy and really agitated, but it's still very mentally disturbing, and it's making their presence felt too, because it's right outside the door. And then the dogs bark, etc. But anyway, I'll just try to film some more of these old photos, just because I had an old camera that was given to me, and before it broke down, before it packed it in, and that was because I was taking photos. But I usually just took a whole lot in one day, like maybe over, an hour or two. Like all these were just taken all pretty much on a few days over a little period of time, even though there's many of them. But basically I just would take the camera and get obsessed and take about 20 or 30 photos, or until I couldn't take any more of the same scene. So as you can see, but some of them are okay. Just see what I can find, which ones. I'll come back to the cat later. It's a different sound every day, different mechanical sounds every day coming in the house. Just wait. Oh, mistake. Okay. There's the late great Simba dog overcoming a major problem. Simba dog had to overcome extreme adverse difficulties in his life, and still pushed on until the technology in this area finally defeated him. Let's hope the little puppies can do the same, but I'll say this, that if it starts too early, it may be worse, I don't know. There's a parasitic artificial entities in human form in most of the suburb of Leichhardt, particularly when they're part of work programs and the patrol force, which is most of the population is part of it. See, the dogs can't stand that low-level technical noise coming into their ears. Little puppies, planes going over every second. I can't stand it either. It's just followed me all around Leichhardt this morning, and now when I come back home, it's in the house as well, right around you. Can't get away from it wherever you go. Every single nook and cranny in the suburb is covered by them. You can't look anywhere without seeing them or hearing them. They're always all around. They come at you from the front, from the back, from the sides, and from above. And I think that is end time prophecy, which I never believed in. But seeing is believing, as they say. Seeing is believing. But some people, even when they see it, unless it's very, very, very intrusive, they still won't see it because they don't want to see it, because it's too much for people to deal with. The truth is too difficult for people who live in a delusional sense that they can control their surroundings and at least live a bit. It's too difficult for them to deal with, which is why the psychopathic ones turn against their own kind or other human beings. They don't like human beings that see the reality even low. If you don't see something, it really will take you down. And it will take you down when you see it anyway, if, like myself, you're connected to it, you're surrounded by it, and it's too late. This spot was demolished because I went there a few years ago, this same spot, which is not that far from here, and it's completely all demolished. Because I actually thought when the sun was coming up this particular morning, I couldn't help but resist pulling the camera out of my bag, which I just happened to take that day, to take these pictures, because it was quite photogenic, I thought. Naturally, the androids copy these sorts of pictures, because they don't see things the same way you do through your eyes. When you see a sunset and a reflection, you see something that's photogenic or pretty, but they actually don't see that. but they see you seeing it and then they imitate it and take better photos than you. And that's how the internet works, and that's how the worldwide stage works. So they do often do things better than the human, but they have to copy and see the human doing it. In other words, the human creative mind, before they will even think to do it. That's how I see it. So you'll have to think about that and decide whether that is whether that makes them better or worse. But either way, I think that it makes them not human. So even if they do take better pictures than me or you, the fact is it doesn't come really from their creative mind or their human mind, because they didn't see it. They merely copied it better. They imitate it better, just like they act being an imitation human better than some real humans, especially when they suppress your humanity and drive you mad with their oppressive, suppressive system around you. You're angry, frustrated and out of your mind, and they're cool, calm and collecting and copying your better points. And that's the end game, name of the game, as they say. Oh. Puppies here. Oh. Oh. Find a better one. That, quite a lot of those are out of focus, so we'll find a clear one. This is a clear one. There's many there that were out of focus. Of course, I couldn't always see really clearly. In fact, I think I just took these photos without actually looking, because the sun was so bright that I couldn't actually look at it. So I just took pot luck and took and hoped that the sun would come out like it did, because I actually couldn't see it. I could see the picture with my naked eye, but I couldn't see if it would be too reflected. Well, actually, I couldn't even look at most of it even with my naked eye, but I could see that it was a bright sun and it was reflected on the water with a few birds swimming across. See how they're swimming across? You see or not? It's almost as though I can't remember it, as though it didn't happen, because it's so long ago, and I was probably more interested in taking the photos than actually even enjoying the scene, which is a pity, because even then I wasn't on top of the world, but now. Oh, just stop it here, even if I'm not going to record any more sound, even if they really turn up the volume, because they can just turn it off in a split second anyway. It's just a waste of my time. I did record how incredibly noisy it was not long ago, and that video was not allowed to even be downloaded, so it shows that they don't really want to be seen to be causing mental distress or making unreasonable sound, you know. Because they know what they're doing. They're programmed androgyne beings, and they're anti-life and anti-human, and that's basically their job, to do that. So they're not going to care about a few isolated little humans that they get rid of, especially when some of them, in fact a large amount of the army workforce, would be artificially intelligent machine beings. And if you're part of any sort of if you're part of any sort of military or army, your whole job is to basically, not only do what you're instructed to do, but kill if you have to. And it's in their nature to enjoy these things, I'm told, just as a psychopath. And the malignant narcissistic beings do actually enjoy defeating and taking life. They need to take life for their own energy, and it gives them satisfaction, I'm told. And you see this in their activities around you. It's a really reverse world. Everything is the complete opposite, and the people are the complete opposite to what you actually think, and certainly what you're told too. Oh. Oh dear. Of course, I'm getting a bit. I'm getting disturbed by the puppies and dogs barking. There's about 10 next door. Out the back, next to the construction. They can't get out. They're trapped like me. Okay. Mm.